Football season is rapidly approaching, and a lot of people have been asking questions about the K-State starting lineup, or at least are curious about what the roster will play like. This video is meant not only to provide a short and digestible preview, but also show the strengths of each individual player for you to look out for on any given Saturday. Without further ado, this is one thing each K-State starter contributes to the football team. How times have changed, huh? Will's first 2 years in Manhattan were plagued by inconsistent play with occasional flashes until his breakout game against TCU in 2022 and the subsequent winning of the Big 12 title. The most important thing that Will has changed between his younger years and now is his confidence, not only in his arm but also in the offense around him as well. Confidence is key for a quarterback, and if Will is making throws like he did last year, boy oh boy, look out. Side note, if you want more on Will specifically, check out the video we made about Will Howard's journey through college football, Iron Will. Treshaun Ward has become a highly touted transfer to K-State since leaving Florida State, even earning Big 12 newcomer honors, so picking just one thing wasn't particularly easy because of how complete a back he is from top to bottom. If I had to pick one thing, though, it would be his general shiftiness as a running back. And I know that you're coming off of a season of Deuce Vaughn, but Treshaun Ward still has a great degree of shiftiness to his game that allow him to be a consistent home run threat every time he touches the ball. Unlike Ward, DJ's skill was insanely easy to pick, and it's not because he was a one-trick pony. DJ has some of the most elite contact balance that I've seen from a K-State running back. He's able to shrug off or spin away from a lot of tackle attempts that would bring most other backs down. That's where he got his reputation as a power back, but honestly the contact balance makes him so much more than that. He's not just a bruiser. He's someone who can hit home runs even after taking a hit himself on the exact same play. Johnson is another highly touted transfer and someone that the coaching staff have been raving about ever since his arrival on campus. He's always been known as a home run hitter who's liable to score just about any time he touches the ball. And he's likely to be K-State's X-receiver, and his playmaking ability might help elevate K-State's offense to heights rarely seen because of his ability to score on any given touch. Brooks has the most experience out of anyone in the room, and it shows. He's a consistent third down security blanket with the ability to still take the top off the defense on things like slot fades. His rapport with Will can really help the offense this year in a more gotta-have-it third down situations where all that's needed is just a few yards, or in other situations where an over-the-middle rack threat is needed to pick up those exact same important third downs. RJ has always been one of the more refined route runners on the squad, but staying healthy has been his biggest issue. If he remains healthy, he's likely to be the most consistently open receiver of the starting three because of his knowledge of how to get open, especially against teams that like playing off-man coverage. So, in teams that really like doing that, look for RJ to make a big impact. I really only have to show one clip here and you get the point, but even glossing over that, Ben Sinnott has shown the consistent ability to win contested catch situations and then rumble himself forward to gain the gritty yards. He also has an insane rapport with Will Howard, so you could count that as a bonus entry. There's a pretty realistic world where Ben Sinnott is the leading receiver, and I'd almost guarantee he's top 3, largely because of his ability to win those contested catch situations. KT has been around the block for a while, but he doesn't get a whole lot of recognition, at least outside of K-State fans. A lot of that is just because he's so consistent at the left tackle spot. He just shows up and does his job at a pretty high level. and he's done so for years, and that consistency is probably one of the most important things that an offensive lineman could bring to the team. Okay, listen, he's going to be a first-round draft pick as an interior guy. He's also probably the best guard in K-State history up to this point. He doesn't exactly have many weaknesses, and from top to bottom, he's probably the best player on the team and probably the best player in the entire Big 12, with the exception of maybe Xavier Worthy. The center tends to be the most experienced of the offensive line bunch for a reason, and a lot of that is because of how the offense operates. Not to bore you or belabor the point, but Gilly's experience at the position sets up the rest of the offensive line to do their jobs at a high level, mostly due to how pass protections are handled at Kansas State. That and his knowledge of the offense makes him a really good communicator, which is another very important part of playing offensive line. Another case of K-State fans just praying the guy stays healthy because of what they've shown. Taylor Poitier has long been considered an NFL guy because of his run blocking ability by Connor Riley, and Riley's not exactly known for handing out frivolous compliments. If he can stay healthy, Poitier can be an amazing road grader for the Cats this year, especially on double blocks with Hayden Gillum. I know Duffy will start the year hurt, but he's a starter once he gets back. He's the most experienced person on the offensive line in terms of starts, and with that experience comes consistency. Although he still has 1 or 2 snaps a game where you question what he's doing, every other snap is genuinely good Big 12 tackle play, and that's something that you really need. If you have one consistent tackle, you have a really good tackle, especially in the Big 12, which is plagued by, we'll say, inconsistent tackle play. Yeah, I know it's cheap, but it's true. Uso should not move the way he does at his size. This makes him a threat not only as a pocket-pushing and powerful nose tackle, but gives him upside as a genuine pass rush threat to get sacks and then detonate run plays immediately afterwards. That makes him one of the most threatening forces in the Big 12 on the defensive line. Matlick was hobbled last year, but even then his technical prowess as a pass rusher shone through. He has a variety of moves that he can use on every rep, which makes him consistent at getting pressure. Now that he's back to full strength and speed and not on 2 broken wheels, look for him to convert a lot more of those pressures into sacks. Duke spent last year at Sam linebacker, but was at his best when he was asked to rush the passer. Now that he's back on the line as a defensive end, he'll probably leverage his insane power as an edge rusher as the perfect complement to Matlick on the other side. In other words, we have a perfect thunder and lightning combination, and Duke is definitely bringing the boom in this situation. Dez has had quite the ride at K-State, but he's settled into the Sam linebacker role for now. He was likely chosen for this role because of his past of playing multiple positions, and this experience in those different positions has made him the optimal choice for defending the notoriously RPO-heavy offenses of the Big 12. You combine this with his general athleticism, and you have a consistently solid Sam linebacker on your hands with potential to disrupt every game plan that comes his way. There was temptation to go with hit power here, but the experience just can't be ignored. He's so familiar with the defense around him that he could probably operate in it within his sleep. But even outside of that, Daniel Green has shown his ability to be consistent whenever he's been healthy, and he's been one of the leaders of the first and second levels of the K-State defense ever since he started. Perhaps a surprise, but Austin Moore demonstrated a lot of range in both the running and passing games last season. His coverage ability and just general ability to get himself in the right spot is an asset the defense really needs, and he'll probably end up leading the linebacker room in coverage grades and interceptions, as well as making a lot of those outside-the-box tackles. Will Lee has shown up as a highly touted JUCO guy, and even in his JUCO film, the number one thing that sticks out is his swagger. He plays the position like a true CB1 and has the talent to back it up. I mean, you don't earn the nickname the Blanket on accident. So if you're looking purely in terms of swagger and ability, I wouldn't expect too much of a step down between Julius Brents and Will Lee. Parrish always was an elite athlete. He just learned to leverage that into coverage ability as a true freshman last year, and likely is a starter as a true sophomore this year because of his insane athletic ability, specifically his twitch and acceleration. Anyone looking to go vertical against Parrish is in for a really tough night, because he's not going to stay behind you for nearly any time at all. Again, it's bordering on cheating here, but the jack safety needs to have the ability to do just about anything on the field. Man coverage, deep thirds, run support, even a little bit of blitzing. Siegel has shown the ability to do all of that to varying degrees, and for that, he has to be applauded because the jack safety is meant to be a jack of all trades. This one was really easy. Look at the defense before and after Kobe's injury. It looked like a completely different unit. Kobe's the glue guy that makes the entire secondary gel together in a way that makes playing quarterback a nightmare. This combines with his motor to make him the quintessential leader of the secondary, and honestly someone who deserves a bit more national media attention than he probably gets. If I had to guess, he probably makes an all Big 12 team this year, and I would take that to the bank. Another true freshman who contributed last year, VJ Payne, lives up to his namesake by bringing some nasty hits to the squad. I'd look for him to do the exact same thing this year, while still developing his already solid coverage skills on the back end, especially considering he'll likely be playing the free safety spot this year. So there you have it. One thing that each K-State starter contributes to the football team. There are a couple of honorable mentions that almost got the nod here, such as Brendan Mott and his ability to, well, consistently get pressure due to his motor, but these are the predominant starters that I see. I hope you enjoyed this little mini preview of what they bring to the offense this year, and I'm really looking forward to seeing all of you guys in that first game on September 2nd. Thank you all so much for listening, and goodbye.